Hello, everyone. I am Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin, and I'm so excited to be with you tonight. And I'm so sorry that I canceled last night. Um, I, Long story short, so I have had this was the third time that I've had kind of the same thing happen to me where I had really bad abdominal pains. I don't know if you remember, but I was supposed to go live. I think it was on a Tuesday night, maybe. I don't remember. I don't think it was Tuesday. I was supposed to do something and I didn't get my cards done because I was going to go to the emergency room with a friend. She stopped over and she was going to bring me. And then on the way there, I felt so much better. I'm like, I don't need to go. And then this summer, something similar happened when I was up at the cottage, but this time instead of lasting about an hour, it lasted about maybe 2 to 2.5 hours. And I still even wasn't feeling the best at the end. But I knew I had my physical coming up. So I thought, well, I'll just bring it up at my physical. Well, then I had to postpone my physical because I went to Michigan. And so I had to reschedule it for December. And then this happened again on Sunday, and it didn't go away this time. It was 5 hours of pain. I was laying in bed. I was like almost crying. So finally, I decided it was time to go in. So I do have gallstones. They suggested that I see a surgeon, which I called and I can't get in until October 25th. So it can't be too important, right? They said that if I watch my diet and things like that and cut out fat, they figure that it probably happened on Sunday because for breakfast I had what was called an avocado wrap. Thought it looked really healthy. It had eggs and some cheese and avocado. And although avocado is a very healthy fat, it still is a fat. And then for lunch, I had some leftover chicken enchiladas and I put lots of sour cream on. And I didn't have any fat free sour cream, so it was just regular sour cream. So they're thinking that the combination of the cheeses and the avocado and the sour cream and the fats that were in my diet that day is what did it. So I'm gonna have to just, I've been being really, really good the last couple of days and eating pretty bland. And so far I felt great. So no need to worry. Hello, let me see. There's Julie and Denise and Mary and Linda and Jeanne and Gwen and Linda. Oh my goodness, lots of you jumping on. Betty, Mary, and Sarah. Thank you guys all for joining me. I do have to say that all of a sudden I was ready to go live and I'm like, oh, I never did my prizes. So I didn't, I was going to be late if I ended up doing them. So I'm going to double up on Saturday. So I'll be back again on Saturday and I will give away the prizes that I was supposed to give away today. And then I will also, or yesterday, and then I will also give away the prizes that I would have given away on Saturday. So Saturday I'll be live at 8:30 again. Today, I just kind of threw something together really quick. Let me do some happy mail and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I ended up doing. So, I received so many cards in the mail. So, I received this beautiful card, which is like a challenge that we did. This was from Kelly Wildenberg. She, I think, won the last creative challenge that we had, and I'm going to put another creative challenge on you tonight. And then a look at this beautiful card, this thank you card. I love this. This was from Kim Metalman, and she was thanking me for, she got that, I think, distressed tiled embossing folder. And then look at this beautiful card. Look at that. And this is a joyful card. And this is from Tammy Litsky, who also won some prizes and made this card. And these gems that she has on these floral gems, those are actually in the, what do I want to call? Discount, the sale, clearance sale. Stampin' Up! Just updated their clearance rack. So if you like a deal, go to the clearance rack. If you're a demonstrator, not only do you get the clearance rack price, you also get the other 20 or 25% off, depending on what level you're at. So, oh. And then the best I say for, not the best, but the most creative. Look at this. This is one of the folds that we had. Look at this, opens like that. Then it opens like this. Then it opens like that. And she even added something for a gift card holder over here. Now, Julie, I have to say, this is Julie Gressel. Um, It says, "Hello, fall. It's pumpkin and spice latte season. Happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend and a little something for a great person." I need to let you know. I know you asked me if I liked Starbucks, and I do. I love Starbucks. But this was empty. And I wanted to show you online because it had these two little stamps on it, and these two little stamps were still sealed. So I don't know if you put the two stamps on and forgot to put in the gift card, which is totally fine, or if somebody had opened it and taken out the gift card and put those stamps on to seal it back up. So I wanted to let you know that. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I absolutely love your card, and I'm not quite sure the doctor would be okay with me having a latte right now because that probably has a lot of fat in. So it's probably a good thing. It's probably a God thing that I didn't get a Starbucks gift certificate because I might end up in the hospital again. So, because I don't like regular coffee, I do a chai latte, and that probably wouldn't be good for me. I'm thinking there's a lot of fat in there. I do non-fat milk, but still, I think that probably wouldn't be on my diet list right now. All right, but thank you so much for your thoughtfulness, and thank you all for who are dropping shopping on here today. And okay, so I didn't get a gift card, but that's like I said, it's completely fine. I didn't want I didn't know if it had been taken out by someone because I know you said it took quite a while for it to get here and that your brother didn't get a card as well. So I was just hoping that somebody wasn't being doing nasty things. All right, so I am going to be doing a creative challenge. So as I was thinking of what am I going to do last night, I was stressing over it, and I just laid down on the couch with my dog Lila, and she just cuddled with me, and I fell sound asleep. And I think I needed it because it had kind of been a stressful night and day the day before, and I think needed a good sleep. So when I got home today, I decided that it was best for me to just make the cards today. So I had a thought in mind. I have a new friend that I met in Michigan. Her name is Dawn Bridgette, and she does a Sunday crafternoon. Now, I wasn't watching it live because I think I was in a lot of pain at that point. But at some point, I think it was yesterday at some point, I happened to catch what she was doing, and I'm like, I love this layout. And so I am using her layout, making completely different cards with the layout. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was watching Dina Rico do a card, and I loved how she was using the decorative mask and her color combination. And so I'm going to combine the two for one of the cards, and I'm going to make another card that shows you a different way to do the layout. And then I'm going to give you another creative challenge, this time a layout instead of a fun fold. So after tonight, I will post something on my Facebook page and say, this is the creative challenge. I'll take a picture of my two cards. One of them I haven't even made yet. Everything is cut. I have it in my mind, and hopefully it comes together because I usually do not do this stuff. I like having things planned. But anyway, um, it'll come together. I know it will. I have faith in God. Um, but anyway, if you make a card, now I'm going to not do it for this Saturday because that would be really hard, Tuesday to Saturday. I'm going to do a week from Saturday. So that would end up being on like oh gosh, 1st of October, maybe. I think maybe it's like the 1st of, no, maybe it's the 30th. I think it might be the 30th of September, whatever. I think it's the 30th of September on that Saturday. If you submit your card by then, take a picture of it, put it on my Facebook page, you'll be entered into the drawing to win the stamp set of your choice. So it's just kind of a fun way for us to share our talents with everyone else. Yeah, I am for all. Thank you for all for saying that you hope you feel better, and I do. I actually feel absolutely normal. They did give me some nausea medicine. I haven't even filled the prescription yet. I have to go pick it up, but I haven't been nauseous. It's supposed to be if it comes on and I start to feel nauseous to take it so that it would help, but I've actually been pretty fine so far. So I am feeling a lot better. All right. I think since I don't have prizes to give away, I apologize again for that. I will give double on Saturday. I think I'm going to go ahead and flip to my phone There we go. And yep, I am right. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was the right way. I had to quickly set this up because I really wasn't ready to go when it was time for me to go. And I'm like, I just have to get my act together here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the card I don't have put together so that the thoughts I have in my head don't leave me after I make the first card. All right, I'm going to be using, and I have a couple of these out. I am using the deckled circles. These circles are, there's a ton of them here. I want to say there's 14 different size circles. Okay, so I used the one that I just took out. There's one more that I had in here that I was messing around with, but I ended up not using it. So we're going to use those. And I decided I wanted to use the paper that comes from that Very Cute stamp set, but I didn't necessarily want it to be a Christmas card. I wanted to show you how you could use this paper to make even a birthday card with the paper, and it could be something that would be maybe a winter birthday card. This one could really be a masculine birthday card if you wanted to. And this is going to be for my envelope, but I have some Misty Moonlight. So both of the cards that I'm making today and for this challenge are cut 4¼ by 11 and they're scored at 5½. So it's kind of that hot dog, I guess, fold is what you call that. All right. And then they each have some layers, 2 layers. I'm like, there's another one of these. 2 layers that are 4¼ by 1½. And then for this one, I'm using designer series paper. The next one, I'm going to use something different. This measures 2 by 4¼ by 1¼ All right, so I'll take those off. So it's just 1/4 inch smaller, not quite as wide as the other one. I have this deckled circle that started at 3½ by 3½. So it's about that size when you go to cut it. And then I have a layer from the inside that's 4 by 5¼ All right, I'm going to set all of this aside for right now. And I'm going to work on stamping these two. And like I said, I don't have this completely figured out yet. So we are going to be working on it kind of together. I'm going to start with the circle on the outside. I decided I wanted to use the, and I don't even know what the name of it is. If Lisa Nealand is on here, she knows the names of every stamp set. So every time I'm a little bit, don't have something, here I have it here. I put it on a block, so I do have it. It's the Biggest Wish stamp set. I love this stamp set. It's so versatile for so many things. And then I am going to use for the inside of my card a couple of these stamps, not to make it Christmassy, but to just bring a little bit to the inside. I'm going to turn my overhead light off, I think. I'm seeing some shadows, so hopefully that this works a little bit better. You don't see as much shadowing going on. All right, I am going to stamp the birthday first. And I decided to make the birthday the big thing because this is kind of a big circle. So I took the bolder, thicker letters for the birthday. And I'm actually going to stand up here. And I'm going to stamp that down. And it is a little bit more to the right than centered because I'm going to put the happy on top of it. And I'm going to do that in the Misty Moonlight. And the reason I wanted the birthday to be the lighter one is because the happy kind of goes over the top of it. I wanted to still be able to see the happy and not have that birthday. See, if this had been really dark, you wouldn't see the bottom of those P's and stuff. All right. Then what I'm going to do is there were some snowflakes in there. And I think I'm just going to take and stamp a couple of those around here. And then there's a bigger one. And I think I'm just going to get a little bit of that in a few places here. Okay, so I'm bringing in the little snowflakes that were in that. And then I'm going to also stamp on the inside. I think I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. Like I said, I don't have this all figured out. I haven't made this card yet. I'm just going to put him down in the corner. Oh, he's cute. And I'm going to put a little present with him. And then this is from the So Sincerely stamp set. Oh, I'm going to see if I have this on here straight. I think I do. Hope your day is a happy one. All right, I did grab some of the blends. Let's see, I grabbed some of the Balmy Blue and I grabbed my Misty Moonlight blends. I'm going to put this away. I'm going to pull the gems out so I don't forget those. And I'm just going to color this in a little bit with these colors. So I think I'm just going to go every other one. And then I might go the opposite one on that side. And then I'm going to take the lighter Misty Moonlight and color that in. Very masculine kind of looking card. Could also be a kid's card with that bear in there. Oh, shoot, I got disconnected. Am I back? I'm back. I don't know how long I was gone. Sorry about that. So I just colored in the present with some of the Misty Moonlight and with some of the Balmy Blue, just to give it a little something. And like I was saying while I was coloring, this could be a kid's card. It could be a masculine card. You could give it to an adult. It really, I think it could go for anyone. All right, so that's our stamping. And now to put it together for what our this card layout is going to be. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to put this one on the bottom. I'm going to layer this on top of here so that there's this 1/4 of an inch of the light blue or the Balmy Blue that's sneaking out. Oh gosh, I hope my glue works. Let's see here. Might have to, no, we're doing good. All right, and for this one, I kind of wanted the this zigzag type thing here. I wanted that, or chevron, or whatever that is. I did want that to kind of be facing this way. So this is actually going to be on the bottom. So my 2 pieces of the Balmy Blue, this I want to be on the top, are going to be meeting kind of in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this on the Balmy Blue. This is a really quick and easy layout. If you're in a hurry to try to make a card, this would be it. Now, I thought about, we do have an embossing folder that has snowflakes on them, and I thought about embossing this, and then I thought I don't like to emboss the card, so then I thought I'll cut another layer of this and emboss it with the snowflakes. But then I wasn't sure how flat this stuff would kind of lay on there. And then in the end, what I decided to do, whoops, I think I was going to put this one down here and this one up here. In the end, I decided to leave it blank. And we have these they're online exclusives, and they are called Adhesive Back Snowflakes, and they're an assortment of white, gold, and copper snowflakes in 3 different sizes. And what I thought is I could add some of those afterwards to add a little bit to this background. I don't know, maybe I'm going to regret it and wish that I had embossed it or put a layer that was embossed. But I was running through a whole bunch of things in my head, and then I just ran out of time. And I'm like, Sarah, you don't have time to put this together. Hi, Carrie Peterson. Hi, Becky Weisky. Yeah, Gian, I love the deckled circles. They're some of my favorites in that catalog. I'm hoping that they carry over into the next annual catalog because they are pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm just lining this up along the bottom and lining it up along the top. So again, that little blue, that balmy blue that's facing out, they come together in the middle. And then this is going to go on there. And of course, I'm going to put that up on some dimensionals. This card goes together really fast. Now, you don't have to use a circle. You could use the deckled rectangles if what you were going to put together needed more of a longer look rather than a circular look. Both of them that I'm using today are going to be using the deckled circles, but you could definitely use the rectangles if you wanted to use the rectangles. And I'm going to put that happy birthday there like that. This is going to go on the inside. Okay, so there's that little birthday present there with the little bear. He's so cute. All of those polar bears are so darn cute. Okay, and then like I said, I felt like it needed something in here. So I do have these snowflakes. They are adhesive backed. And I thought just to pop a couple of them sort of around. Let's see, throw one there. We've got some bigger ones as well. Maybe I even want to have it go underneath here a little bit. There we go. So that looks good like that. And maybe one more. I'll stick it under there a little bit. Now, I just had an idea, and I have to run to over here to do that, get that, but I'm thinking that it might be nice to even, now if this was masculine, I would probably leave it the way it is. But if you wanted to sparkle it up a little bit, you could add some rhinestones to the center of a couple of those. Okay, so I could add some rhinestones to the center of those just to sparkle it up just a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, so I just added like to 3 of them, I added some sparkle. You could also do it to your ones that are on your card. And I decided that if I have these rhinestones on here, I'm just going to take some of this. This comes as a twin pack with gold and silver. It's just some gold and silver trim. I'm just going to wrap this around here a couple of times along the top. And you can decide if you want to tie it in a knot or if you want to tie it in a bow. You could do either. I think I'm going to tie it in a bow. Oh, come on. I hate tying bows on camera. It's the worst thing to do in the world is to tie a bow on a live camera. Okay, let's try this again. Get this in here and see if I can pull it. There we go. Okay. Now, the only thing I don't like about tying a bow like this is that um, it does have to be tight. If it's a layer, I can cheat on it and I can like cut it in the back and tape it. But when it's like this and it's wrapped around the card, I can't do that. So let's see if I tie it in a knot first because I had it way too loose. I tie it in a knot. I should use my reverse tweezers. It's sitting right over there. And then maybe tie it in a bow from there. Let's see if that works. Otherwise, I can just leave it in a knot. Well, I think that's going to work. Okay. And we'll trim off those edges a little bit. And we'll pop a glue dot to hold it down. thanks, Linda. Yeah, clean and simple sometimes is the best way to go, right? Doesn't have to always be super, super fancy, and it can still kind of have a wow effect. So just the greeting of the happy birthday with some of those snowflakes around there. Add a little bit of trim to give it a little bit of glimmer, and then hope your day is a happy one. Oh, thanks, Becky. It came together pretty nice. It was in my head, and I'm like, oh, please let this come together when I'm live. You know, that's kind of that scary thing. The other one I've planned out, and so that one I know what I'm going to do. But this one I was like, I think this will come together. I hope it'll come together. I should show you what I started with. I don't even know. Yep, I do have it sitting over here. I started with something else and it just wasn't coming together for me. And it was getting close to being live. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something else here. So I quick shifted gears. I was on the phone with my mom. She called, are you going to go live? I'm like, yeah. She was on her way home from Green Bay. They went to take my aunt out to dinner. And she said, I'll catch you when I get home. So I'm sure she's watching. Hi, Mom. All right. So there is our cute little envelope to match our fun little birthday card that's all set for winter. Again, could be masculine, could be feminine, could be for a child, really could go teenager, could go to pretty much anyone. So that is our general layout. I can show you what I started with, and I wasn't feeling it, and so I'll show you what I had cut already. Whoops, I dropped something. So I'll see if I can finish this up and figure it out in my head. But this is some of that paper that goes to charity. Like when, every time you buy it, a portion of the money goes to charity. So I'm like, oh, I really want to use that paper. And so my thought was, and I wasn't sure if I liked these colors together or not, but they were the colors that were in the tree. So this is Pretty Peacock, and that's Garden Green. And I had another garden green. I don't know where it went. Probably dropped on the floor somewhere. Um, but I had that there. And then I had two trees. So I don't know where the other tree is either. But my thought was to put those two trees together. And then I cut out this bear from the paper. I thought to kind of put the bear over the top of it. And then I was kind of stuck. I didn't know where to put the greeting. I didn't know what to do. And so then I got stuck and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to come back to this when I have more time and I'm feeling more creative. And I have to go on to something else that I can quickly throw together because I have to go live. And I kid you not, like 25 minutes. So I quickly cut all this and it was in my head and it came together. So that is one that has to be put together yet. And I don't know where all the other pieces that I had cut went. They're probably here somewhere. So all right, so that is the layout. Our next card, which is also going to be using that layout, is using a color combination that I found from Dina Rico. And I just loved it. And she was making a fall card, and I wanted to make a fall card. I didn't want to do two things in winter. So what I have is the color combination that she had, and you might be like, oh, that's a weird color combination. But when you see it all put together, I really kind of liked it. So this is Pool Party, measures 4¼ by 11, just like the last one did. All right, the colors that I'm going to combine with this are, one of them is Copper Clay. So these are my pieces that measure 4¼ by 1½. So those are going to be at the top and the bottom. I have a piece that measures 4¼ by 2½. And after I stencil this or put some of the blends on here to make a pattern, I'm then going to cut it in half so that I have two pieces that are 4¼ by 1¼ just like the last one. So I'm basically gonna, where I had designer series paper in this one, I'm actually gonna make my designer series paper in the next one with the stencil. I have a strip that's 5/8 of an inch wide, and I'm going to stamp my greeting on there. I have my inside layer, which is 4 by 5¼ I have a piece to do some stamping. It's just kind of a scrap. And then I have die cut. This is the third color in the combination, Wild Wheat. So it's Pool Party Wild Wheat and Copper Clay. Would not have put them together. Saw Dina put them together, and I'm like, I have to say that I kind of like that. So I did it. All right. Then I have used the dies from the autumn leaves, and I have cut out the veins of a leaf in copper clay. So you can kind of see that if I put it on white here. So it's the inside of the maple leaf. All right, we're going to use the die for the maple leaf to cut that out. And then I also took these two little, there's two of these that are this size. I don't see the other one. It may have fallen out of here. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so there's two of those. So I cut two of those out in copper clay as well. So there's one and there's two. All right. And the ink, the stamps that we're going to use, well, the mask is, let me put this on here. So I think I'm going to have to put it on colored paper actually so you can see it. This is another one of those decorative masks that comes along with the sunflowers that I did a couple of weeks ago, those blue sunflowers that everyone was oohing and eyeing about. This is another one of the masks that comes in there. So again, I've sprayed it already with some pixie spray so that it's kind of sticky on one side to hold that paper down while I'm putting some color on it. So the colors I'm going to be using again are Pool Party, Wild Wheat, and Copper Clay. And I've got some of the stamps that are from that Autumn Leaves stamp set. And I also have some blending brushes. All right, I'm going to put some of this stuff aside while I do the blending first. So I'm going to take out this piece that has to be, that I have to add the color to. So if I did it this way, notice how the far ends, my paper ends like my die ends about right here. My paper almost goes out till the end. So you have to, if you're going to do 4 1/4 inch wide, you do have to do it kind of like this in the middle of your dies instead of doing it at the end. The last time I did this, I mentioned that if you didn't want to, thanks Karen, if you didn't want to put your blends into your pads like this and pull up the ink, the other thing that you can do is you can just take a block like this and you can push the block in there and use the ink right off of your block. Okay, so now I've got blue ink on this block and I can pick that ink up and I'm just going to go, and I usually start with one of the lightest colors. And I'm going to go ahead and just in a couple of different places, I'm going to add this blue. Okay, next I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set this block away so I don't mix colors because that would really muddy up this thing, I think, a lot. I'm going to take some of the wild wheat. I didn't want quite as much of this, so I'm going to go ahead and notice I'm tapping some of it off because this is a little bit juicier pad. Okay, and then the last color that I'm going to be bringing in is my copper clay. And I do have a block for that too. Set that over there. And I should have a copper clay brush here somewhere. Here it is. Again, I don't want to go really over some of the other colors because I'm afraid it's going to muddy it up too much. So I'm just kind of sticking in areas where I haven't gone yet, where I see that it's kind of white yet. Okay, voila. Okay, so I've just made myself some designer paper. Okay, I did it with the blends and those decorative masks rather than having to cut some DSP. All right, while I have my stamps and stuff out here, I'm going to take the inside of my card, and this is Pool Party ink, and I'm going to ink up this leaf and kind of stamp it in the corner. All right, and then with copper clay, I am going to put some veins in the leaf. I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. Make sure I'm inside each of the leaves and don't go outside of them. Okay, and then my inside greeting is going to be to have you as a friend. And I'm going to put that right down in the corner here. All right, so that's going to be the inside. My outside greeting is going to be on this 5/8 inch is I'm thankful. And then you open it up and it says to have you as a friend. Okay, so that's in the copper clay. And then on my scrap, I'm going to stamp one more of those leaves. Now, if your stamp pad is super juicy, just like I did with the translucent florals last night, you don't need to tap as hard onto your stamp pad. The other thing you could do is you could take a plastic spoon and just kind of spread the ink out with the back of the spoon and just spread it out to make it a little bit more even on your pad. I know like my wild wheat and my copper clay are much juicier than my Pool Party because they're newer and I haven't used them as much. And so if I were to stamp this, I maybe would either stamp off or I just like tap real lightly into the ink so that I don't have a mess and that I don't get all of those dots like I did with the translucent floral flower last time as well. Okay, we do have a die, okay, that will cut that out. So you just have to run that through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And through the magic of TV, I have that done for us tonight. And I already cut this out. So these are just going to go right inside there so that it mirrors this image that I had stamped on the inside of the card. I have a little bit of ink. I don't know if I might have had some copper clay on my hand. There we go. That's gone. I just get these. It's like a sand eraser. You can get them at Amazon. I get usually a pack of them because I have them for when I have stamp classes here because inevitably somebody gets some ink, a little spot of ink on their something that they're stamping. All right, now it's time for us to put this together. I do have to cut this in half. Get my trimmer here. Let me tell you, I have a mess to clean up when I'm done here because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. This is going to be 1 1/4. I'm cutting this at 2 pieces that are 1 1/4. Oops, that's scoring. That's stamping or cutting. So I have a lot of designer paper that I have to put away. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I have to put away when I'm done here. Okay, so just like we did with the last one, the way that we're going to put this together is we are going to layer this right on top of the copper clay. Now, if you wanted to, you could pick, you didn't have to cut this at 1 1/2. You could cut it and just use part of it. I thought it was easier since I knew I wanted it to be 1 1/2 inches down and 1 1/2 inches up from the bottom. I thought it was easier, and what Dawn did when she did her demonstration as well. is cut that piece and then just butt it right up to the edge so that you know for sure it's going to be the same distance on each one. Okay, so you've got that 1/4 of an inch that's sticking out there. Okay, and then I have to do the same thing with the other one. And again, if you wanted to, you could always take like the distressed tile embossing folder. If you wanted to like step it up a notch or something, you could always do a layer with something like that and then putting this on top of the embossed layer. I just thought to do that right now. I did think about the snow one before, but all of a sudden it just came to me like, oh, I could have done that. Okay, I want to match this up along the bottom here. And it looks like I cut this a little bit wider than my card base. So I'm going to line it up on 1/4 corner. Okay, and I'm gonna stick it underneath to make sure that it's all lined up. And then I'm gonna flip it over and I'm just gonna trim off the excess. Okay, it's better to, you can always cut off, you just can't always add more. So sometimes I tend to, some of my layers like this, I tend to cut them just a tad bit bigger so that I know I can trim off if I need to, but I can never add more on. So I have to be careful with that. So this one too is a little bit long. So I'm going to flip it over and you can see right where you have to trim off. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, so there is the two pieces at the top and the bottom. Our circle is going to be the wild wheat, and I'm just going to put that on. You know what? Why don't we use the distressed tile on this? Let me get my embossing folder. We'll like change it up on the spot here. Let me find that folder. Distressed tile. Let's see. That's in the D's. They're actually alphabetized. I just did that the other day. All right, let me get the right pieces for my machine. Actually, I might just do it off camera. Since there we go. I just have to get all the pieces. I'll go ahead and take this. Here's the embossing folder I'm talking about. And I'll just go ahead and throw that inside of there. And I'm just running it through the machine real quick. This is my favorite, most favorite. Oh, that adds a lot, doesn't it? Can you see all of that distressed tile in there? That looks cool. I like that. I'm glad I had that idea there at the last minute. All right, dimensionals it is. And we'll put one in the center for good measure. And we'll pull these off. When I was making this card after work today, I was trying to put the greeting on and I forgot to take the dimensional off. I'm like, usually it helps there if you take off the dimensional. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set that in the center. I'm going to raise this on dimensionals as well. So we're going to have a couple of layers up on dimensionals. 1, 2, that should be good. And I'm going to kind of put that at an angle on here. And then I did use adhesive sheets on the back of this so that I can pull that sheet off. Sure I can. There we go. And I got a nice little sticker that I can just lay over the top of this leaf. There we go. It's coming together. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside before I spill something else on it. All right, I have my 10-second bow maker along with some of our linen thread. And I'm going to wrap this around here like 3 times and get a triple bow because I can. Oh, thanks, Becky. Yeah, I would not have ever in a million years put these colors together. And when I saw them together, I was like, I really like the more I kept looking at her card, the more I just kept saying it's so cute. I don't see my bone folder here, so I'm just gonna take my fingers and kind of curl this linen thread a little bit. Okay, because I like how it looks when it's curled. And we'll do a glue dot and we'll put that about at the base of the leaf there just to add a little bit of that trim. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut on a slant like that. And let's see here. I'm going to kind of tuck this underneath here. So I'm going to need a dimensional on this right hand side because this is down lower. I mean, needs a dimensional for that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on this side. So liquid glue there and dimensional on the other side. I think I wet it up a little bit. Did I take yeah, I did take the thing off my dimensional back. I didn't before. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, I'm feeling much, much better. Thank you for saying that. Let's see if I can get this straight. I'm a little bit crooked. I don't want to, there we go. I already just tore that a little bit. Let's see. There we go. I think that's a little bit straighter. So I'm thankful to have you as a friend. All right, I brought in a couple of different gems. Actually, you know what? There's 2 more things. I forgot to add these little leaves that I had. I'm going to, I don't have a Wink of Stella here. I have one over here. Let's go ahead and add a little Wink of Stella to these leaves. Just to give them a little bit of sparkle. I know you can't probably see that on the camera, but there is so much glitter on that leaf. Just love it. And I'm actually going to stick these. I'm just going to use a glue dot. And I'm just going to stick these underneath that circle there. Just to add a little bit more. Okay, so we've got some little leaves coming out from where our greeting kind of is. I really want this greeting to be down a little bit. I didn't want it flush with that, but now I kind of ripped it on there. So let's see if I can. There we go. That's about where I want it so that it covers those leaves a little bit. There we go. I like it better there. All right, and then our little trim is going to go there. And then these are pecan pie, or I don't know how else people say it. I say pecan. 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 Some people say pecan. I say pecan. Um, but we do have some of these that you could actually take the copper clay blend and we could color those if we wanted to do that. I also have these rustic metallic dots. I think what I'm going to do, I didn't put anything on my other one. I think I'm going to grab my copper clay Stampin' Blends. And I think I'm going to take these lighter ones And I'm just going to color them with the copper clay. Now you might be saying that looks a lot like the pecan pie ones. They probably do look pretty similar. The colors are pretty different, but I have gotten them mixed up before. And then it's like, oh shoot, that was supposed to be um, copper clay, and I ended up using pecan pie and vice versa. So put 2 of them up there, and we'll throw one down. Oh my goodness. There we go. Whoops. Throw one over in the corner here by the greeting. I don't know if I picked up the sticky with it. I did. I don't think I did. Let's see. Is it still? Oops, on my finger here. Goodness, there's the sticky. And we'll move the dot right on top of the sticky. There we go. Okay, so that just added a little bit more to that card. So I'm thankful to have you as a friend. I've been starting to move some of my greetings so that they're not always in the same location. Sometimes they're in the middle, sometimes they're down in the bottom, just to kind of give it a little bit different look. Now, I was planning to do this, so let's go ahead and do it since it's not too late yet. It's only 7:21. I haven't even been on an hour. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to, let me see how I want to do this. I'm going to put this so that I got to put the sticky side down. I don't want to end up getting anything on the front of the envelope. I just want to put some stuff on the flap. So I'm going to set this right there. Now, normally I would have cleaned this before I did it again. I'm going to put this down here. It was sitting on top of some other ink, so I want to have something underneath it. All right, so here is our, where are my blends? Here they are. Here's blue. I don't have a lot of blue left on there. I might have to grab my pad. Grab a little bit from there. And I think that's the only place on here where I really have pulling in some of that other ink now. Didn't want to do that. I don't want to muddy it up too much. And I've got some yellow here. Whoops, I forgot to brush this off a little bit. All right, so we got a little bit of yellow, and then we've got our copper clay. Probably got more copper clay in here than I wanted, only because that was the last color that I used, so it was the one that was on here more. But we've got our envelope decorated to go along with our card. So that is your creative challenge. Again, you have until the 30th of September to make a card that has this layout. Now you can stamp something if you want and then put the layer. You can emboss something if you wanted to and then put it over that layer. You can do like this one where I used designer series paper and then layered it with another color. One of the cards that she made the other day, she layered it with some designer series paper. One of them she layered it with some like distressed gold or anything like that. You can make this a circle. I made it a circle on both of mine. You could make it a rectangle if you wanted to, or you could make it a square, whatever you needed to do to fit whatever you wanted as your focal image as the center. So basically it's the top and the bottom kind of mimicking each other and then having something focal in the center. You don't have to add a ribbon. If you want, you can add a ribbon, you can add gems, you can add whatever else you want to it. But if you create a card using this layout, post a picture on the post on Facebook where I say creative challenge, post your pictures here. Anyone who participates in the Creative Challenge, their name will be put into a drawing to win the stamp set of your choice. And I will draw that live on the Saturday, the 30th of September. I think the September 30th is the Saturday. Let me think here. 15, 22, 29. Yeah, the 30th is a Saturday. So that is our creative challenge. I hope that you liked it since I threw it together so fast today. I'm going to turn the light on and I'll come back to you. There we go. Let me get my mouse here so that I can come back to you. There we go. Here I am. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks again for being patient and waiting until today so that I could get the cards made and be able to go live with you tonight. I really do enjoy my time with you. I hope that even though the cards are a little bit more simple tonight, that fun layout is something that will help you in your stamping and get you at least thinking about how you might be able to use that layout to do something else. Yes, Nancy, nice and simple, but they did turn out to be really cute cards. I hope you like them. So it doesn't always have to be difficult. And so I wanted to show you that you can have some cute cards and it can be a really simple layout like this and have cards come together really, really fast. So thank you so much. And thank you all for your well wishes. I really do. I feel absolutely fine right now. I have a feeling that my gallbladder at some point is going to have to come out. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but whenever it's supposed to be, just take it a day at a time, right? So thank you so much for all of your well wishes. I really, really appreciate that. I will be live again on Saturday, so that's just a few days away. And I will do my prizes. I'll do double prizes. Since I didn't get that taken care of before I came on air tonight, I will do double prizes on Saturday for you. A reminder, I mentioned it earlier, but there is an update to the clearance rack at Stampin' Up. So if you haven't checked out the clearance rack in a while, there's some pretty cheap paper there, some really nice paper, some of that gingham paper that I absolutely loved. They also have like the Turtle Punch was on there. I don't know if it still is. I haven't checked back. I also thought I would let you know that I will have my Christmas class details coming out by the end of the weekend. I hope to have that out to all of you that subscribe to my newsletter or have asked to be on my newsletter list. If you would like to get on my newsletter, just shoot me an email at createwithsarahllc@gmail.com. I will add you to my list to get that. I am doing a to-go version of some of the projects that we're doing. So some of the things that we'll be making, I will be selling some kits for you to be able to purchase if you're not local, so that I can show you what it is. You would then get a PDF and a video tutorial of how to put the things together. Most of the items are 3D items. And so I will have that. There will be an order. I think Kathy and I were talking because Kathy and I are doing this together. I think that the order deadline will be sometime at the beginning of October because we're so afraid that some of the product might go on back order. And so we want to make sure that we get it on time. My live event is the first weekend in December. If that doesn't work for you and you wanted to attend Kathy's event, her event is in, it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, I think. I'll have to check with her on that. But I'll get you more information if you are local and you wanted to do it in person. We're both doing the same things. And so I would not be hurt if you went to hers. But I also would invite you to mine if you would like. Mine again is the first weekend in December. And then if you are not local and you are looking at seeing what we have to offer and would like to get a to-go kit, we will be putting some of those together as well to ship out so that you could make the products at home as well. We have some 3D items. We have a fun fold card. We have let's see, sampler, which is like a shadow box that has a sampler. So there's going to be a variety of different things for you to pick from for the to-go option as well. So looking forward to getting all of that out to you as soon as possible. So thanks so much for joining me tonight. I will see you again on Saturday. Thanks. Have a